What's up, everyone? Today is July 17th, 2023. In today's video, we're going to cover a big news story today out of New York City, where a beloved meteorologist, Elise Finch, has passed away suddenly at the age of 51. Last night, I made this tweet explaining why it was very likely that we'd see the death of a celebrity in the news on July 17th. Today, as today's date has remarkable alignments in accordance with the two great American total solar eclipses in the years 2017 and 2024. Well, sure enough, viewers in America's largest local television market, New York City, woke up this morning to learn that Elise Finch had passed away, despite having no known illness or health defects. In this video, we'll explain how her death is connected to this code of total solar eclipses, which is something I talk about very frequently on this channel. Finch was the meteorologist at WCBS-TV in New York City. And WCBS is not just any random CBS affiliate. This is actually the flagship affiliate of CBS. So you'll see that the station in New York City first aired on July 1st of 1941. That is the same date that CBS first aired on television. So this all went through New York. And now we learn about the death of a New York meteorologist. So as we go on, we'll also explain how this connects by the numbers to the founder of CBS, Arthur Judson, who died just a couple of years after Elise Finch was born. For starters, let's take a look at today's numerology to understand why it's so significant and why we knew we would get a story about death today. Today's date falls exactly 38 weeks before the second Great American Eclipse on April 8th of 2024. Furthermore, it is also exactly 308 weeks after the first Great American Eclipse. The number 38 is associated with death in Gematria. The words death, killing, murder, and RIP all equal 38. Back in 2002, a film called Murder by Numbers, starring Sandra Bullock, was released. And notice how this poster modified the letters to show us the number 38. We get a reverse 3 and an 8 for the B. On top of this, today's date numerology, July 17th, has numbers that sync up with the gematria of total solar eclipse, 67, 22, and 47. On top of all this, today's date is also written as 17/7. In the alphabetic order, the phrases eclipse of the sun and the Jesuit order both sum to 177. Of course, the Jesuit order using an eclipsed sun as its emblem. So in regards to the 38 connections with today's date, we get this death of a 51-year-old. And in Satanic Gematria, the phrase 51 sums to 380. Elise Finch was born on February 24th of 1972. This is the digits 224. The second Great American Eclipse occurs in the year 2024. The first one fell in the year 2017, which represents the numbers 217. This brings us to the founder of CBS, Arthur Leon Judson, who was born on the date 217, or February 17th. This actually syncs up with his full name gematria. Arthur Leon Judson sums to 217. The network he founded, Columbia Broadcasting System, also sums to 2117 in standard gematria. If you're new to this channel, the language of gematria is a way of numbering the alphabetic order. This language starts with the ordinal method, where each letter is numbered 1 through 26. These methods can also be reversed or reduced to provide the base 4 methods. And then we'll also take a long look at both Latin and Standard English Gematria. These ciphers produce much larger numbers than the ordinal methods, with the Latin method the only one not using the standard alphabetic order, as it uses the Latin order with modern English characters at the end. So here we have a birthday on 2/17 and another one on 2/24, just like the 2 years of these two great American eclipses, 2017 and 2024. Elise Finch officially died yesterday, July 16th, a date that falls 217 days before 2/17 and 224 days before 2/24, which was her own birthday. To top this off, when the news station gave a tribute to Elise Finch this morning, who was on television as recently as this past Friday, they referred to her as their bright light. Of course, during a total solar eclipse, the bright light in the sky, our sun, is darkened. So this is a clear nod to this eclipse code that I picked up on last night. In Latin Gematria, the word eclipse sums to 192. Measuring from the birthday of CBS founder Arthur Judson to the birthday of Elise Finch gives us 1,092 months. But there's another strong alignment with this measurement. Finch was also born exactly 91 years and 1 week after Arthur Judson. This represents the number 9/11. And if you've been following my work recently, you know that 9/11 is a major theme. I touched on this deeply in my decode on the Long Island serial killer. The county executive of Suffolk County, where those bones were found, was born on September 11th. And now here we have a meteorologist in New York City. Of course, the September 11th attacks primarily focused in the city of New York. In Greek isopsephy, really one of the first languages that had gematria coded into it, the phrase for total eclipse sums to 911. And in satanic gematria, one of the most fascinating ciphers in this study, as it's centered around the number 666. The phrase ritual human sacrifice equals 911. What makes this connection so powerful is that 911 is the 156th prime number. Eclipses always occur 1, 5, or 6 lunar phases after the last eclipse. In English, the phrase eclipse the sun also equals 156. In ancient Hebrew, the word for eclipse sums to 156. So Elise died on July 16th, which allowed her passing to make the news today, July 17th, which is really this ultra-significant eclipse date. But there's something else that really stands out. Notice how today is the first day of brown lunation number 1244. So today, July 17th, is the date of a new moon. And ever since 1923, these new moons have been numbered through the brown lunation system. Today marks the beginning of lunation 1244. In the ancient Hebrew language, which is where many scholars believe the practice of gematria originated, the word for kill in Hebrew sums to 244. So how interesting, again, that we get a death in the mainstream news from New York, nonetheless, on this date. There's also a strong eclipse sacrifice riddle here. The phrase eclipse sacrifice equals 290 and 101 in reverse. The full name of CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System, also sums to 290 and 101. In ordinal, eclipse sacrifice equals 142. In the capital letter cipher of Gematria, which is based on the alphabetic order but adds 26 for each capital letter, the name Elise Finch equals 142, and Elise Finch died 142 days after her last birthday. In reduction, Eclipse sacrifice equals 79. This is another number that the last name Finch shares with Judson, the founder of CBS. For the next part of this video, we'll explain the deep-seated numeric connections that link Elise Finch to Arthur Judson. Before we get there, I want to talk about her age once again, 51 years old. This is always an intriguing number to show up in stories about death. Once again, CBS was founded way back in 1927, September 18th to be exact. This is when it first hit the radio airwaves. The first television air date for CBS was July 1st of 1941. This means that on the date Elise Finch died, CBS was founded exactly 5,000 weeks and 1 day before her death. She died 50 weeks and 1 day before the anniversary of the first television broadcast of CBS. Numbers, again, found in her age of 51. In Latin Gematria, the number 51, when spelled out, has a matching value with the phrase ritual sacrifice. And on the date she died, Elise Finch was 616 months old, matching 51 and ritual sacrifice. Also, on the date of her passing, actually the date of today's news, which was revealed on the CBS affiliate, CBS had been founded a span of exactly 1,150 weeks ago. I'm sorry, months, not weeks. In Gematria, the word killing has double Gematria of 115, using both the reverse and Latin methods. Remember, killing also equals 38. Today's date, 38 weeks before the next total eclipse, and 308 weeks after the first. So once again, Finch died 217 days before the birthday of Arthur Leon Judson, whose name equals 217. And once again, Judson was born on 217. But what I want to really pay attention to is this reduction value of 71. The name Arthur Leon Judson sums to 71 in Pythagorean or reduction gematria. CBS first hit the television airwaves on July 1st, the date written 7/1. And again, this happened in New York City. When Judson founded CBS on September 18th, it was 7 months and 1 day after his birthday. When Finch died, it was 7 months and 1 day before Arthur Judson's birthday. Her death was also exactly 7 months and 1 week before her own birthday. On top of that, she was also 18,771 days old. And once again, CBS, founded on 7/1. This was also Finch's 17th year as a meteorologist in New York. News of her death broke 17,701 days after Arthur Judson died. It was also 170 days after the anniversary of his death. When Arthur Judson died, Elise Finch was 1,070 days old. This represents the number 17 in numerology, and 17 is the 7th prime number. And think about how this connects to today's date, the 17th of July, which is the 7th month. In Gematria, the words kill, sacrifice, ritual sacrifice, and ritual human sacrifice all have Gematria values of 17 in various methods. And her death coded up and down with 17 and 71. This number 17 is also the reduction value of the station that she worked for. WCBS-TV sums to 17 and 1795, which brings us to the next small part of this. There's a lot of 95 connections here, as CBS was first founded by Arthur Judson 95 years ago. In reverse, the name Finch equals 95. In Latin, CBS equals 95. The name Elise Finch equals 195. And measuring from the beginning of WCBS television, this July 1st date, the same date, to her death was 11,195 days. I guess there's a little typo there. This should be her birth, not her death. 11195. Another strong alignment here is that Arthur Judson died 1,069 days after Elise Finch was born. And when she died, it was 169 days after the anniversary of his death. Using the standard alphabetic order, Arthur Judson sums to 169. In standard, Judson's name equals the 198th prime number. And today, when we learned about Finch's death, it's the 198th day of the year. So as I pointed out earlier, she was born 91 years and 1 week after Arthur Judson, exactly. The name Arthur Leon Judson equals 91. Her death fell 9 weeks and 1 day before the founding date of CBS. But this is a big ritual human sacrifice number, 911. In Latin, this phrase sums to 895. And that stands out because CBS TV equals 895. The name Judson equals 984, and today is 984 months after CBS first aired. All right, before I wrap this video up, I want to talk about a few more alignments with Arthur Judson to the founding of CBS. We talked a lot about the number 71, and I thought it was interesting that Arthur Judson has the same digits in Latin as the number 71. 71 also has matching gematria with CBS through the number 144. Today's news falls 144 days after Finch's birthday. 71 is the 20th prime number. The name Judson equals 20, and he died 20 days before his birthday. Judson was 17,014 days old when he founded CBS. Columbia Broadcasting System sums to 1417, which is kind of like the opposite of 1714. Judson would go on to die on January 28th, the date written 128. Notice how Columbia Broadcasting System equals 128. This is a lot like the Latin value of television. Television equals 1028. Judson died at the age of 93. The name Arthur Judson sums to 930 in reverse Sumerian. His name also equals 155 in reverse, and his death on 128 fell 155 days before the anniversary of CBS and its first broadcast. All right, everyone, that'll do it for this video. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, etc. Check the links down in the description below if you'd like more information or perhaps would like to support the work, which keeps these videos coming every single week. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you all next time. See ya!